Hi there. Welcome back to the Jedstead Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing very simple cookie recipe. Very simple, very good cookies for the holidays since it's that time of the year. These are very simple thumbprint jelly cookies. Easy to make. People always love them. Really good thing to make around the holidays. Not complicated ingredients. I have butter, lots of butter. Always, always the trick to good cookies. That's a cup of butter right there. I have my all-purpose flour. I have white sugar and also brown sugar. Two types of sugars, double the sugar fun, and one egg, and then baking powder, just a little bit of baking powder, vanilla extract, of course, got to have that. Confectioner's sugar if you want to sprinkle it on at the end. I actually don't have the confectioner's sugar. I'll just skip that step. It's not necessary. Totally optional. Really just for decoration or any kind of decoration you want to put on it is fine. And then since it's thumbprint cookies, you got to have some sort of jam. I like the bon maman. The bon maman, très bien. This happens to be apricot raspberry. So I thought that would be a good flavor for it. But sometimes I mix it up. I'll make some raspberry, some apricot, keep them separate. Orange marmalade is a nice one if you want to try that. Really, the jelly is where you can get creative with the cookie. So the first thing I'm going to do, I preheated my oven to 350 degrees, so that's preheating. And the first thing I'm going to do is cream the butter with the white sugar and the brown sugar. All right, now I've got my ingredients ready to go here to mix. The oven is preheated to 350. Now I'm going to cream the butter with the white sugar and the brown sugar. Now, if you have a hand mixer, you can use oven's ready. You can use the hand mixer to mix it. I like to do it grandma style, which means you're going to use one of these and mix it with this. That's because I don't have a hand mixer, but that's okay. I don't mind. I like to do a little workout on it here. Now, I did cheat a little bit because grandma didn't have a microwave. I did soften the butter a little bit. Now, some people might say, don't soften the butter. That affects the cookies. I don't care. It's easier to mix this way if you don't have a hand mixer. So I softened it just a little, not completely melted, just softened so that I can mix it more easily. So I'm pouring that into a mixing bowl here. And then I've got my white sugar. It's half a cup of white sugar. Just pour that in there. And half a cup of packed brown sugar as well. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to mix that up nicely. Okay, it already looks good. Okay, so I've got my egg here. I'm going to add my egg and my vanilla. I've creamed the butter and the brown sugar and the white sugar. And now I'm just going to drop an egg in there. And I'm going to add my vanilla extract, just 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. Oops, it's not even open. It's nice and fresh. There we go. And then 1 teaspoon of the vanilla extract. Good, and then we're going to mix that up. It smells good. I can smell the vanilla. Delicious. Okay, so we'll get that nice and mixed up there. And that's now going to be ready to mix that with the flour and the baking powder. Okay, so now I'm going to mix the flour and the baking powder, and then we're going to mix it all together to make the dough for the cookies. So I'm going to need a fresh spoon for this because the other spoon is all gooey with the yummy vanilla sugar mixture. And this calls for 2.5 cups of flour. So I put 1 in already. Here's another cup. And the flour's messy. This is where the apron comes in really handy, or you're going to get flour all over yourself. So I learned that one year. I got flour all over myself. I said never again. Now I'll always wear an apron. So that's 2.5 cups, 2.5 cups of flour. And then it calls for just a teaspoon of the baking powder. I know it seems like nothing, but it is important to have that teaspoon of the baking powder. So put that in there. Good. Okay, now we're going to mix that up nicely like this. And then we're going to mix it with our sugar mixture. Now I probably did this backwards. I should use the bigger bowl for the sugar mixture and the flour. We'll see how it works. Maybe it'll be big enough. If not, we'll switch bowls. So, because you're supposed to mix the flour into the sugar, so because you mix it in little bits. So mixing it in, and then you mix it. You pour a little bit in there. Get that mixed. Pour a little bit more in. Probably take like three portions to get it to mix nicely. And as I said, I'm getting this bowl's getting a little full, so I did it a little backwards. So keep that in mind. Use the bigger bowl. It seems counterintuitive to use the bigger bowl for the smaller portions, but when you mix it, you're going to want that sugar mixture to be in the big bowl. It starts to get a little bit hard. That's where the little muscle comes into it to get it mixed all good. It's going to be delicious. I can smell the sugar and the vanilla. Okay, good enough. I think we're done. I think we're good there. So, and voila, we have our dough ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to make the cookies themselves. So let me get my baking sheet, and we'll move to that step. Okay, now I've got my cookie sheet here. It's lightly greased, so you want to lightly grease that. So the cookies don't stick. And then basically it's very easy. You're just going to take some of the dough and roll it in your hand like this. And you want to make about a 1-inch ball or so. It's up to you how big you want to make them. The bigger you make them, the more jelly you're going to have in the middle of them. Or I should say, the more cookie you're going to have around the jelly. So these are a little too big. I like to make them a little bit small. That's about a good size maybe there, right in the palm of your hand. Them on the baking sheet, and if you need 2 baking sheets, then more cookies. That means more cookies. Okay, so I did actually have to use a second sheet. I've got 2 sheets. I don't know, maybe I make mine small. I don't know. The recipe for this says yields 18. I don't know how that'd be possible. They'd have to be very big cookies, and yet it says roll them into 1-inch balls, which I think these are about 1-inch balls. So either I did something wrong, or we're just going to have a lot of cookies, and there's nothing wrong with that. So now the next step is to put the jelly in these. And why do they call them thumbprint cookies? Because you use your thumb for that. So make sure you wash your hands real nice before you mangle the dough. But I am going to use my thumb and just push my thumb into it. You can use a spoon for this too, but again, this is grandma method we're working with here. And don't worry if you notice they'll kind of break along the edges when you press into them. That's fine. That's going to be crispy, delicious edges on the thumbnail cookies. Okay, jelly time. Nice. So now I'm going to use just an actual teaspoon to apply the jelly because it's got the tapered end and it's easier to kind of put it into a little hole. You can measure however much you want and use like a teaspoon measurement like this, but it's a little harder to get it out of there, I find. These are, less deep, so it's easier to get the jelly out. So I'm just use that, and again, there's no rule on how much jelly. So again, I've got my Bon Maman Très Bien Gelé, and nothing as nice as a fresh jar of jelly, is there? Not even broken into, but let's break into it. So, I'm just, it's got a little bit of jelly on the end of the thing, and I'm just gonna drop it right in there. Boom, that was a little too much jelly, actually. You'll find out as you go what the right amount of jelly is, and you don't need much. Go back, this one had a little less. Let's give him a little more. Oh no, he's got too much. Spread the jelly around. Spread the jelly love around. Both sets of cookies all jellied and ready to go. Super easy. I mean, again, this really takes no time if you're not filming it. If you're filming it, it takes a lot longer than it should, believe me. Throw these right in the oven here. Uno, dos. I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. And we'll come back, and soon it's going to start smelling nice and delicious in here, and then 15 minutes, we'll be eating cookies. I can smell those cookies. Now they smell like they're almost done, and that's been about 13 minutes. So I think it's like 12 to 15 minutes, somewhere in there. Up, that's the 1 minute signal. But I think these are done. They smell done to me. Oh, and look how nice. They don't expand a ton, but they do expand a little bit when you cook them. So these are nice sized cookies. Look at those. Don't they look cute? So let them cool for at least 5 minutes or so before you do anything. And then if you want to do the confectioner sugar, you could do confectioner sugar. Like I said, I prefer the green crystal sugars. That would be cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little spatula here. I mean, these cookies, they come right off the greased pan. And oh, by the way, I mean, that's pretty perfect, right? So again, that was about 13 minutes. They could probably have stayed another 2 minutes, but that's nicely brown right there. And you can see the top of how it looks there. So a couple of them might stick to the pan from the jelly. So just gently, you've got to be gentle with these cookies because they're very flaky. So they will crumble. They're not a hearty cookie. Perfect. And there you have it. Look at this. Look at that beautiful plate of cookies. Now, the moment of truth. I'm going to try one right now. Try this guy right here. That's good. Oh, this jelly. Jelly's delicious. Really good. Oh, the cookie's nice and sugary and sweet. All right. Let the festivities begin. There you have it. Holiday Thumbprint Cookies, courtesy of the Jedstead Kitchen. So give it a try. Let me know how they turn out. I'd love to know if you enjoy them. If you do anything different or special to them, hit me up with a comment and let me know how it goes. All right? Enjoy. Happy holidays.